Last week on Pokemon Cooked League, the Heatrans of Justice relentless pressure from his Wind Rider shift tree proved to be too much for the Goldingo Goobers. Meanwhile, the Sinister Sinastchas were stunned by the Landorus dating simulators as they were banned from playing the game with rock slide flinches. Will the Heatran of Justice keep the ball rolling, or will the Sinister Sinastchas push them back down? Welcome to the final match of Week 2. We have the Heatran of Justice versus the Sinister Sinastchas. And first impression I'm looking at this matchup is the shift tree with grass dark staff is threatens 4 things for super effective damage here, especially with the Wind Rider, even bulky mons like the Ursaluna and like the Sinistcha, which really usually foregoes maybe some of its offensive firepower and or speed for more bulk. That they don't like taking +1 stat boosted attacks that are super effective. And on the other side, I think the Tapu Fini can be pretty big here. I think I can imagine this Sinistcha's goal is to try to set up Trick Room. The Heatran of Justice's team is really fast here, at least compared to the Sinister Sinistcha's. And fairy type stab moves are just water and fairy hit 4. Let me see. 1, 2. Yeah, hit 4 of the things for super effectively. And then Zoroark and Whimsicott are so frail that they'll get maybe 1 shot, or at least 2 shot by just non-resistant moves here. And then, there's also the Ursaluna, and that's always scary in Trick Room, so that's going to be something to worry about. But there's more, there might not be as many defensive answers for the Ursaluna, but there are offensive answers. You got several grass types, you got the ice type, you got the fighting type. And of course, the Zoroark can be some mind games with about should I connect Facade to Slaughter as his secretly a ghost type here. I imagine this is gonna try to I imagine this is sort of like what's it called, a Basket Legion lead to like quickly flip turn or scout and then try to set up Trick Room with the Sinistcha here. I can imagine something like that happening. And then on the other side, I can leading Whimsicott's usually just a kind of nice thing to do because you can either instead of Tailwind if you want to, or do something else annoying if you don't need the Tailwind, like get ready to like encore something, or like something like that. Maybe even set up a screen or two. And look at me being totally wrong on the leads here. Furious George is a really good nickname. I like that a lot. And we got the Sinister Sinistchas with the just really innovative nicknames here. And look at me. The only thing I got right was that there was going to be a Whimsicott here. The Thunderous, this might be just trying to be a real pain in the butt by just thunder waving things. Maybe this is holding no item to try to get a strong acrobatics because the team is pretty weak to flying here. 3 of the 6 mons are weak to flying, so that could be something like that. And the fact that the Gouging Fire is leading with the Thunderous made me think that maybe this is like a Howl acrobatics turn. That could definitely be a lead here. Or this could be just that like Gouging Fire is just a good defensive piece, so it doesn't feel bad against anything. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like Howl acrobatics here. Of course, when you click any sort of status moves, you have to be worried about getting encored by Whimsicott here. So I do think this is a pretty tricky spot for the Heatran of Justice here, as these mons just are not fast enough or probably powerful enough to threaten so much of these mons. But maybe I can be proven wrong here. And when in doubt, click Stealth Rocks, I guess. That is a I did not know that Primate got Stealth Rocks, and I guess I was wrong on the initial thinking of it being some sort of Howl acrobatic set lead, which I think would have actually done really good here. But No, just using the... You're trying to get the defensive piece here. Just probably... just comfortable taking the hits here. And now you get the choice of what do you want to encore here. The thing is that the Thunderwave can still have value onto anything here. You know, just Thunderwave, the Whimsicott slot, and the Thunderwave still does some good things here. But on the opposite end, that's like so much more obvious. So like it's not that good to so it's not even that good to encore. But then on the other hand, it's so much more obvious to encore the Gouging Fire because, you know, encoring into Burning Bulwark does nothing. So there could be some mind games here. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is like if someone tries to make a read here. Ooh, that's rough. Making swipe. Oh, it has Defiant. I don't know why you did that. And it's a double, and it's a full paralysis on both sides. That breaking swipe, what's the word? Was objectively horrible. I'm a bit meaner to whenever Jack makes a play that's questionable because he's actually good at the game and he's won tournaments and have gotten first place on the ladder. So I don't feel bad for being a bit of a bully to him. But yeah, this is where he doesn't know that Primate gets Defiant, which I don't know how he doesn't know that because Annihilate gets Defiant. So this isn't like a weird mon, but it gets bailed up by double paralysis here. And let's see. I don't know if the Thunderous is trained just faster to be the Whimsicott, or the Whimsicott was not going for a status move at all. But yeah, that was a kind of a brutal turn that could have, you know, gone a lot better if, you know, either mons don't get fully paralyzed. But, you know, he got quad flinched by Rock Slide, so I guess he deserves some good last week. So I guess he deserves some good luck now. Here comes a taunt. Flare Blitz. Lash out. That's just a random like dark type move. It has some secondary effect. I don't remember what it does though. Yeah, the Primate just not taking that Flare Blitz well at all. I thought it would take it a little bit better, truthfully, because, you know, it can run the Eviolite, but no. And Gouging Fire is usually not that invested into attack. But yeah, I mean, if we look at the speed tiers here, I guess yeah, it's definitely that the Thunderous is just faster than the Whimsicott here. Because, you know, we see that the Jacob the Whimsicott tried to use something right after the Thunderwave, and a half-speed Whimsicott is definitely going to be slower than a booster speed Gouging Fire here. But, yeah, not much progress has been made. I mean, you got some decent damage on the Thunderous, but... And you can, it's enough to maybe clean it up, to probably clean it up with the Chien-Pao later, but man, I would just like to be doing a little bit more damage here. And this doesn't seem like this Primate is getting much left after the Stealth Rock and Lash Out here, which I guess is not terrible. Yeah, the Volt Switch is pretty safe there. It was definitely low enough to where, you know, you can just get the safe pivot and secure the KO afterwards. I don't know if that means that the Thunderous is heavy-duty boots, because it is going to be taking 25% the next time it switches back in. But even at low HP, Thunderous definitely has a lot of uses because it's fast, it's strong, and Prankster. So you don't need it to be that healthy, but definitely something to consider here. And even that Flare Blitz, man. Being resisted hit on Minior on shields down mode still takes over a third, which is kind of rough here. And we get the Basket Legion in here. And what do we... And now you got to figure out what is going to be sent out here. I imagine this Basket Legion is some sort of choice item. Scarf or ban, I'm guessing Scarf. So you have to find a way to try to punish that. And it's just kind of rough because the Gouging Fire with booster speed is also such a pain in the butt. Because, like, oh, you want to send in the Chien-Pao to try to, you know, just, like, Sucker Punch it or, like, Crunch it to KO it. Then you have to worry about this Gouging Fire, which will blow it up. And here comes the Chien-Pao. But, like, I have a sneaking suspicion that... Let's see if I'm crazy. We'll see if this is Zoroark here. I don't know why I feel like it is. But yeah, because, you know, the ghost typing, you can still threaten the Basket Legion here, and maybe you can take a flare, but it's a little bit better here. And then, like, maybe you can be in a spot where you can actually set up a Shell Smash with the Meteor. But, like, that doesn't even not work that well, because when it's moved, it's probably Aqua Jet for later, so you're not going to get a sweep, but, you know, at least start something. Okay, it announced Sword of Ruin. Never mind. I'm wrong. Sucker Punch. Yep. Yeah, it does get the KO here. And that's going to restore the... And thanks to the all-time Sucker Punch on the Champao here, the Basket Legion does go down, and now we do have a +2/+2, a double speed, double attacks, double special attack Meteor here. And with no obvious priority moves on these mons on site, this can be a real pain here in shields down mode, making it more offensively threatening here. You know, this menace in the random battles that you have to run into, and you're really annoyed because, like, he kills 5 of your mons and you get sad. So what do you send out here against the Meteor? Let's see, it probably has acrobatics, probably has protect, so it's probably like maybe like rock move, flying move, acrobatics. Let's see, flying move, rock move, shell smash, protect. Maybe somehow forgo protect, but I highly doubt that. It seems way too important here. So it's definitely time to, you know, Tapu Fini and Ursaluna are both bulky enough to do that. So maybe it's just a Tapu Fini here, because it also is pretty good against the Champao. No, it is going to be the Thunderous here. Oh yeah, since it's not in Shields Down mode anymore, you can hit it with something with Prankster. But wait, this is Scarf Chien-Pao? That's crazy. That is insane. And this worked out very well here, assuming that's what that means. But yeah, now that you know that the Chien-Pao is Scarf, it's now kind of just sitting there, not really doing anything. You can be worried about the Thunder Wave here, but maybe you can get a call right, or like, oh, maybe because I expect the Chien-Pao to switch out because I know it can avoid that. He like just attacks anyways and get the Sucker Punch anyways, but I don't know how much. Yeah, I may just like stay in here, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of rough. Maybe you can get a protect and pivot here, but again, none of these mons are really bulky enough to pivot at all. And it's Citrus Berry, which is kind of like heavy duty boots here. It's the same HP back. And here comes the Para. Breaking Swipe. Oh, and that just KOs. That's a real disaster. Why did he say, oh, Neptune, it's Scarf? If it wasn't Scarf. What in the world is he on? Okay. Bro's just lying to me. But yeah. Gets a trade here. Makes it, now you have a -2 Champao here. And, you have a Paralyzed Whimsicott. You got the Zoroark and the Shift Tree against, a fairly healthy Gouging Fire. And then a full HP Ursaluna, Sinister, and Tapu Fini. Definitely a rough spot to be in, but not impossible. If you can, because you can... Oh, it's because he forgot EVs. That's crazy. That's really funny. You know, Whimsicott comes out here. You can get a Tailwind off. You can... Maybe you can... I don't know. When it comes to Sinastchas, the -2 Champao here just cannot threaten the Sinistchas as much as it would want to here. And what do you even really do about that? Because again, switching just sucks so much because your team just has no defensive switch-ins here. Like you just don't have time to switch. Like, okay, yeah, I switched my Zoroark into a Flare Blitz from the Gouging Fire, and it might die anyways. Like, it's rough. And the Gouging Fire is back to full. Alright, are we going to see any burns here? Wow, that did so much. Oh, that's why. It's because it's Zoroark. I'm like, why did that do so much? It's supposed to resist. I know Shift Tree's frail, but like, come on, man. And the Sinistchas does get taunted here, but just correctly goes for a Machagacha. No, maybe trying to predict the Trick Room here. I don't mind the taunt here, but it just makes the correct play and just taking your damage here. And the Shift Tree without Wind Rider is just not looking very exciting to me. So we're gonna bring in the Chien-Pao first. Booster Speed Gouging Fire here just seems to be like so annoying here because what do you really do? The Gouging Fire threatens to KO either one of these mons quite comfortably here, truthfully. And I think Gouging Fire has a decent chance of winning if it was a 3 against 1. The rest of Heatran of Justice's mons here. Ice Spinner to counteract the Mystery Terrain. Definitely not what he was going for, but a funny interaction here. I don't even remember what Mystery Terrain even does. I know it weakens Dragon type. It just prevents status in general, right? Yeah. But yeah, this I can't imagine that this goes anywhere besides Gouging Fire. Just blows things up here. And we can do this pivoting thing all day. And yeah, decides to not even go for a KO. Tries, doesn't want to do protect mind games. Just takes the guaranteed chip damage and the attack decrease. That's a fair thing to do here. And we do see that the Shift Tree is in fact a clear amulet here. Yeah, Rage Powder is a good, very safe click here. Even if, especially if that happens. But yeah, that is in fact going to do it. Yeah, the Gouging Fire just entered the field and then stayed on the field. And yeah, that mon's an issue. How do you booster speed Gouging Fire? It's also because it's definitely a mon that has a lot of variety. It can be set up to be like a Howl Sweeper. It can be Dragon Dance. It can be support like it was here. It's a very versatile mon, a bulky mon. It can be really fast, be really defensive. It can be really offensive. Definitely a problem mon here to try to figure out how to beat. But that's going to do it for me. Congrats to the Sinister Sinastchas for the first win of the season. I'll see you guys soon.